cork, road bed, a bunch of track nails, and a whole new layout in progress.
When you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, when you're laughing, the sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you bring on the rain. Stop that sighing. Be happy again. Keep on smiling. 'Cause when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you.
Hello and welcome aboard a whole new small-scale adventure. Before I begin, I'd like to encourage you to like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell icon to receive notifications. So before getting into things, I would like to apologize for my lack of activity. I have had a lot going on in my personal life, and unfortunately, some of that stuff includes a death of a very close family member. So it's been a lot. But moving forward, at least we got some more exciting things coming. So, such as this layout, for example, which is obviously what the video is about. So let's get started. So as you can see, in some areas I actually already have started scenery. And some areas, such as like the back side of the layout, I do have a bit more track work to do. I mean, the main line all the way around is complete. But some areas, such as towards the rear, the yard, I still have a lot of figuring out and work to do on that. But towards the front side of the layout, I've got started on scenery here. So as you can see in this particular scene, I've planted grass. And not too much else to talk about in this scene. Obviously we have a Ferromex SD70 ACE right here, looking very spiffy as always. But yeah, in the background you notice a center beam, so let's take a look and see what's there. So I should have said this up front, please excuse the mess, my apologies, lo siento. Obviously when you're working on a layout, things are gonna get messy, so just bear with me on that. But anyways, to where this center beam is, we have a lumber industry that I started. Actually, it's most of the way. Yeah, it could use a little bit of work still, but it's coming along pretty nicely. And yeah, it's just I'm liking the way it's turning out. So that's that. Let's take a look at what else I've been working on. Okay, this is totally my bad. I should have done this in the beginning of the video, but I didn't, and I really don't feel like redoing the video again, so I'll do it now. You know, I mean, it's better late than never, because this is, you know, a crucial part of the video. But anyways, that crucial part, a little background about this here layout. So this here layout is a 4x10 modular layout, and I'm also I'm trying to design this to be a more portable modular layout. So basically meaning like not only be able to move it more easily, but I'd like to, like, say, maybe sign up to attend like community events or whatnot, and bring the layout, set it up, display it, for like events or whatnot. Because quite honestly, like I absolutely love sharing my trains with others, and it's just around the right people. It's just such a great and enjoyable hobby, Yeah, and there's even a lot of people who aren't in the hobby that appreciate model trains. It seems it's so it's something that I really enjoy sharing with others. But yeah, so that's really what I'm trying to do here is do a more portable layout here. Now it's probably not the best design because I did a lot of cheapskate moves. In fact, because of some of those cheapskate moves, I have some bugs I need to work out, but at least I could work them out, I'm pretty sure. But if there's any advice I could offer to you, try not to do what I do. Try not to pull any cheapskate moves. Because, sometimes you can get around some, others it'll be kind of difficult to get around, and then there's others where you're just not going to be able to work around them. But yeah, so what am I trying to model here? So I'm trying to do like a lakefront beach town sort of thingy here. I'm not really modeling any location in particular. I guess really, if anything, you could say I'm modeling like a fictional town along the shore of Lake Michigan. So yeah, this layout here, or at least the more scenic side of it, because what I'm also planning to do in the future is put a scenery divider between, right down the middle to kind of separate the yard side from the more scenic side, just to kind of, also to kind of give a little more depth to the layouts, like a more distant kind of feeling, so it doesn't feel all, scrunched together. Just kind of give it a more, I guess you could say, realistic feeling. So yeah, anyways, getting back to what I'm trying to do, let me show you a little bit of what I'm doing. So like I said, what I'm trying to do is like a lakefront beach town kind of thing. So as you can see, I have a beach going here, and then even like notice like all the rocks along the tracks, and then even some dune grass in some places, such as if you saw in that last shot, surrounding the crossing signal base. We got some dune grass there, just static grass, but hey, it works for dune grass, And then you also probably notice, I'm sure, all the sand that's kind of blowing up over the tracks. Yeah, so basically what that's, don't worry, it's all glued down and everything. Otherwise I wouldn't be running trains, because we'll just say that would be equivalent to a little kid wrecking HO scale trains in a sandbox. But yeah, that's what I used to do with my wooden trains, or like my Thomas trains when I was little, is I used to take them into the sandbox and everything, and yeah, we'll just say they did not look very good later on, because all the paint came chipping off and everything. But hey, you're little, gotta have your fun, But anyways, yeah, so notice like all the sand on the tracks and everything, and you're probably wondering what's with all that sand. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like represent, or I guess model, like sand carried by the wind, blowing over from the beaches onto the tracks. Because I've actually seen that a number of times before, such as a couple of examples I'll use are the St. Joseph Benton Harbor Amtrak station up in Michigan. That's literally along a beach there, and it's not uncommon for there to be sand blowing onto the tracks. And then also too, along the Chicago South Shore and South Bend Railroad, because the railroad basically runs through the dunes for a lot of for a good fraction of the railroad. It's also pretty common where you'll see sand blowing onto the tracks from the dunes. But yeah, so it's it's something that I've actually seen quite a fair number of times, and I'm sure too, like on the West Coast, such as like the Surfliner or Coaster and Metrolink, that's gotta be a very common sight for there to be sand blown over the tracks. But yeah, so basically that's what I'm trying to do. I know I'm starting to yap a bit much here, but anyways, yeah, getting back on track. So yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to do regarding like why all the sand and everything. But yeah, let's take a more in-depth look at things. So this here beach is actually an extension. So it's on the actual bench work. I did not have enough room to put the beach in, and I really wanted to have a beach to complete the scene here. So what this here is, so the rock wall is actually just foam that I shaved off. Yeah, so the back is like straight edge of the foam, and the front is like where I shaved it and stuff. And then we got oh, excuse me, for the water here, I just painted the base and put a little sand on there to kind of represent the shore of basically the shore where the water and sand meet. And then for the water effect, I used furniture varnish. Quite honestly, I'm not liking how this is turning out regarding the water. The rest of it I'm really liking, but the water, unless maybe I just need to, because I'm not finished with it yet. I still need to do more furniture varnish, but I'm not really satisfied with how the water's turning out. But I mean, of course, model railroading, it's pretty much always going to be trial and error. And hopefully this is something where I'll be able to fix without having to redo it, which I'm sure I might be able to come up with a solution. So the base here is actually a piece of trim, or like a wall baseboard, and I know you're probably wondering what's going on here. It's warped, and I did not catch that until after I got going on this project. And it's like, oh man, But maybe I could figure out how to straighten it out someday. But until then, it's gonna have to do. Okay, so right now we are looking at what is probably, at least so far, my favorite scene on the layout, and that is a little passenger station I have here. And I'm just really loving the way it's coming together. But yeah, so I mean, there's the sand blowing onto the tracks from the beach by the wind, and then I got the little grade crossing signal in there, and the grade crossing, and I just really like the way it's coming together. Now, yes, this just solid lights, it's not that particular signal. It's an old Lifelike signal. It's not designed to flash or anything. I'm not planning to do anything too fancy with this layout, because I just, that way it's more easily portable and stuff, and more low budget, because I'm trying to make this a nice yet more portable and low budget layout. And so far, I think I've only put like $15 in this layout so far, which is super nice. And because like a lot of the stuff I already had, like I think like I only needed like some more road bed and some more track nails, which come to find, after I purchased the track nails, I got a whole bunch, so it's like I didn't need to purchase them at all. But I definitely needed road bed, so I think like at most, including the track nails and road bed, I probably put something like $15 into this layout so far. So everything else, you know, I already had, so you know, it's so nice knowing that I didn't have to put that much money in. But yeah, so anyways, getting back to the scene. So yeah, that's that crossing signal right there. It's just a old lifelike one. It's got incandescent bulbs. In fact, those bulbs, they get pretty hot because we'll just say I could smell the plastic melting. Yeah, so I try not to leave it on too long, but you know, it's like, at least for photos and stuff, it's nice to, you know, like photos or, you know, presenting, it's nice to put it on, but you know, otherwise I try to keep it off because I can smell the plastic burning. Yeah, so another thing in the scene here, we got the grade crossing going, and what I used for the roads, there was actually a package, a roll of roads. They're like some kind of paper compound, something like that, but they're specific for model railroading. Yeah, so like I want to say like 7 years ago I have acquired a whole bunch of stuff from like a couple layouts that were torn down from someone who was looking to get out of the hobby, and you know, wanted to give the stuff to a good home, someone who would definitely use it. And you know, a couple of friends of mine said that you know, they know someone, and that someone being me. So it's like, you know, it's like it was perfect the way it all worked out, because you know, stuff's being used in a good home, and you know, it's so nice too, because it's also, you know, because I have all that stuff with hand in hand with me reusing stuff from my old layouts, I don't really have to spend much on, you know, I haven't had to spend much on this layout at all, so that's actually really nice. But yeah, so the stuff is definitely getting put to good use. So anyways, I think I've covered the scene enough. Let's take a look at some of the other stuff. So my plan for this area here, where there's basically empty lots, my plan is I want to put some structures here, but there are a few structures for this layout that I actually want to get some styrene sheets and custom build. So a couple that are going to be going here, like I want to do like a lakefront restaurant, and then like a bunch of condos overlooking the water. And I really think that would be a really nice touch to the layout here. I feel like it would really complete the scene. But yeah, I just first got to get the styrene, and then I can start building. And we take a look over here, and we see we got a little main street going, and then over where those two boxcars are, the Pan Am and the Railbox boxcars, is going to be a little warehouse. That's another thing that I'm planning to custom build out of styrene whenever I get around to getting some. So yeah, and then we take a look beyond where those boxcars are. We got a river here emptying out into Lake Michigan. So honestly, really no particular river. Like I said, it's basically like a fictional town along the shore of Lake Michigan. I haven't decided yet. I might put a waterfall there, but I don't know for certain. I gotta figure that out still. And my apologies, like I said, it's a mess. It looks like I've been dumping into the ecosystem and everything. So yeah, we'll just say right now I'm bad for the environment. But don't worry, I will clean up my act as I make progress. So we come over here. I've got something a little interesting going on here. These are going to be sand dunes, and I'm also, as you can see here, have a little natural arch or natural bridge that I'm working on here. And this is pretty much the next scene I'm going to be kind of focusing on, and I'm really really liking the way it's turning out thus far. So I'm doing the very economical or cheapskate method that a lot of model railroaders have actually done, and that is by taking strips of cardboard and then I'm going to eventually cover them with plaster cloth. Now, I'm not sure when that's going to be. Hopefully it shouldn't be too far into the future. Just pretty much whenever I get some plaster cloth. Then you can see I kind of started working on the water here. But yeah, maybe I should have waited till I got the plaster cloth or painted like the land elevations and stuff, but yeah, at least I got something done, and I could always come back and touch up the water later on. But yeah, so it's coming along, you know, it's ever so slowly, it's coming along. And then this segment of track over here is actually supposed to be an abandoned interurban line. So this actually was originally going to be a coachyard track for my Metra train, but honestly, I just really don't have the room to do it, you know. Well, I mean, I kind of did have the room, but at the same time too, being able to do it with the room I had, it would have looked so bad. So I decided to scrap that, but still kind of keep the idea of having another track here and turn it into an abandoned interurban line. And so this segment is not powered. However, I could still, like, if I ever needed to store like additional rolling stock on here, I could do that. So it works out. I'm sure you probably noticed this. This here is actually a custom practice graffiti project that I did. Yes, that is Plankton. For those who don't know this, I am a huge SpongeBob fan, so it's like I just couldn't resist to do a SpongeBob themed graffiti. But this one, it's just practice. You know, I need to get the right paints, you know, because honestly, if I got the right paint, it would have turned out so much better. It's kind of you know. But I mean, I really like the way it turned out, but I don't like the way it turned out. Basically, if you saw close-ups of this, you'd see what I mean. But we're not gonna go there. But yeah, so reason why I'm practicing graffiti is actually a couple of reasons. One of them is I'd like to start graffitiing some of my trains, and then another reason is I would like to see if maybe I could do some customer projects regarding graffitiing other people's rolling stock for them, you know, like a business kind of thing. But before I take anybody up on that, let me get some more practice in first, so I can nail it first. Because if I'd rather, I don't want to screw up on anybody else's stuff. I want to screw up on the old cheap stuff that I have first. So we come over here, take a look at the yard. There's really not much to talk about other than the fact that I still got a lot of figuring out to do, and as to how I'm gonna do the yard and everything. It's like I'm getting a better idea of how I'm gonna do this, but also too, I haven't really done much because it's just really hard to get in here and reach. Because we zoom out, look what I'm dealing with here. But yeah, so there's really not much else to say here. So this is what the yard looks like thus far. So I'm sure you're probably thinking, wow, for this being the very first layout update, I've made a lot of progress. And I will say this, you know, I did make quite a bit of progress in quite a small amount of time. But let's see, I started this layout, like maybe 2.5 months ago. Well, of course, things kind of were brought to a halt for a little while, you know, with everything that's been going on, you know, with me personally and everything. But, you know, let's see, I probably got back to it, maybe a little over a month ago, or a month and a half ago, something like that. But, yeah, it's like progress pretty much took off from there. and yeah, it's coming along. It's definitely coming along. But yeah, so I think that's it for this video. If anybody has any questions or any suggestions or anything, you are absolutely more than welcome to drop it in the comment section. But yeah, that's it for now. Stay healthy, stay safe, and be kind to others. Gracias por ver.